How I moved from being a very, very strong atheist to become a believer in God. And this was not an easy journey, and of course, most of my life I still was an atheist, and still I'm probably only 5 years or yeah, 5 years that I could call myself a believer. And that journey, of course, the spiritual growth is always growth like any other growth. You always keep understanding more and more and more and more, and I still growing in that sense. And I grew up in Christian family. Of course, my parents was not as big in Christianity, so I didn't have that big Christian. But like my grandma was a huge, huge believer. So she went to church every Sunday. She never missed it. She prayed every day. So she was a huge Christian. And I used to go to her quite a few times, especially during summer. I used to spend like a month or two with her, and I remember that I used to enjoy that she's going to church, but for different reason than church and praying, because she used to go and bring me candies. I remember it used to be very fun because when she's gonna come back from church, she used to go to a specific room and put candies into the closet. And after afternoon, after having lunch, she used to go to that room, and that room used to be close to the living room, and the doors to that room was glass doors, and there was a curtain. So when she used to go to the room, I always go follow her and just put some curtains, look which closet she opens in. When I see that she opens my favorite closet where the candies are, I used to put back the curtains back, run back into my room, and just show that I didn't follow her. And she should bring candies, and I used to really enjoy those candies. And for me, I always remember her Sunday church day as a candy day. And of course, that's where my understanding about church came from, just from candies. Now, and why I was such a huge atheist from the beginning, from the start. I am the person who always questions everything. I hate rules, and I I don't hate rules. Rules is okay, but rules needs to be understood because I didn't understand why there is a rules in place. Why we need to go to church? Why we need to believe? Why there's no one explain me properly? So I start to believe that you need to be for some reason I start to believe that you need to be a weak person to believe in God. Because I thought that if you're not able to believe yourself, that you need to look that belief elsewhere. So that means that you need to find something. And a lot of times people find God to believe in to get some strength out of it. But when I start meeting a lot of people who are very very strong and they still believe in God, start my beliefs start to tremble because even my best friend, who I admire so highly, he was one of the strongest person I know. He has very strong character and very strong values. He always believed in God very much. Now till 25, I I still was an atheist, didn't believe in God as much. And when I came to Canada, I started to meet even more people who are very, very strong and they believe in God and share their perspectives. I started to connect more and more with the idea that I don't have all the answers. I don't know how all the earth and how everything came, how the universe was created. I don't say that that is not possible. So I start to question all the things, all the decisions, all the beliefs that I had in the past, and I start to think maybe there is a potential for this. Now, I start to connect more with that idea when, of course, when I was struggling and a lot of things happened into my life, and I remember that 2019 July, there was a lot of things happened into my life, and I needed to find very fast any kind of job to make some money, and I got a just regular laborer job that paid very very low salary. I remember I started July with minus $200 in my bank account, and something happened to me that said that from that day I will start to be grateful for all the things that God gave to me. And I every day when I went to work and swipe the floors, and it was very bad work, and everything seemed very bad, but I started to say thank you for everything. I said that thank you, God, for my health. Thank you, God, for uh, my family's health. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you, God, that I still have food on my table. Thank you, God, for everything what you gave me so far. Thank you, God, for making me a person that I am now. And I repeated thousand times those kind of things because I used to hate my job. And I just kept repeating. And my attitude changed about everything. And after a few weeks, because of my attitude, I got a job that paid me 4 times more than the job before. I got a job in the evening that paid very well as well. So in a very short time span, I was able to move from July was minus 200 in my bank account, and after 3 months having $4,000 in my bank account. And I truly believe that was because I was grateful. I was thankful for the God, for all the things that He gave me. And even though that I didn't had anything, I had everything at the same time. It gave me much more because when you appreciate what you have, God gives you even more. Now, I remember one of the biggest connections when I speak about God was when my friend invited me into the event that was church creating, and there was about 200 people in that event. There was a dinner. After dinner, we went to watch a video about religion itself, and that video was pretty good, but I don't remember as much. After that, we had groups by like 10, 12 people, and we chatted what we learned from that video, and that was good, but it still was not the main thing. And after all of this, we need to separate people into two people, and we need to pray for each other. So we need to explain what we're working on, what we're struggling on, what troubles we have, and then try to pray to solve that other person's problems. And that was probably the biggest moment when I really was touched by some extraordinary energy, because I remember when I tried to speak and tried to really pray from my heart for someone else, it just, that energy that went through me was overwhelming, and my lips was barely moving, and I didn't understand what's going on, and I just had full of emotions. And after that, I was not able to explain where that overwhelming energy came from. And the only thing that I could come up with was that really that God was touching me through that prayer and really helping me pray and support that person, my brother, my friend, through the things that he's going through. And after that, I started to connect even more dots where I was blessed by God, because I call myself a very strong person. I have a character that could go through anything in life because I just was built, and a lot of things in my life, in my early ages, my God gave me to overcome that could make me a better person. That's why I always believe that I'm here to support other people in their journeys as well. Because a lot of times when we ask something for God, sometimes He will not give you exactly what you're looking for, but of course He will give you what exactly you need. Because I asked God to make me stronger, and what He did, of course, He helped me to become stronger, but what He did, He sent me a lot of challenges to overcome. And of course, when I overcome those challenges, I became stronger and stronger and stronger. So He exactly knew what I need to become stronger, because that's what I asked for. So when I connected all the dots, I realized that a lot of things that went through life went, and when I always needed the most help, a lot of things that went pretty bad, but there is always a one person, two people who used to show up into my life to help to sort that season of my life, and there's always was someone's in my life to support. And I think that God was sending people into my life to support my life that I could get where I am now, because I just truly believe that if you are looking for answers and you are not rude about all the things and you just really question it, you start to come up with answers, and you start to see how much input you really get from other people. And I love, there is one song that it says that one of us, that every person has a God in them. In them. That's why when I connect with anyone, I see the God in them, and I really value them. And that means that if you want to live fulfilling life, you want to add value to people, and by adding value to other people, I think that you add value to God. So that journey from being an atheist to believer was still is still going, but I think that the more I understand, the more I learn, the more I connect with the idea that we are created by God, not we're not created by ourselves. And of course, believing that we were created by God allows me to have a bigger purpose, because I'm trying to surrender myself, because surrendering is not easy. Most time you need to have a lot of strength to be a follower of someone else, because a lot of times people have ego. How we could surrender? I'm such a strong person. But when you really surrender to God, when you surrender all your egos and you start adding value to other people, then I truly believe that you're able to live a fulfilled life.